Have you ever seen an elderly loved one sitting quietly by the window, hands resting on their knees, eyes gazing pensively out at the front yard, where the sunlight has faded and even the breeze rustling through the erica trees seems sadder than usual? They say nothing, make no complaints, but you know all too well, beneath those knees, a dull, persistent pain is brewing. Every time they try to stand, it takes all their effort. Every step feels heavy, not just with the weight of their body, but with the burden of long, weary years. Old age comes, and with it, changes no one ever wishes for. Simple tasks like stepping onto the porch, bending down to tie a shoelace, or going to the market alone suddenly become luxuries. Not because they lack the will, but because their legs just aren't the same anymore. The knees start sending quiet signals, aching after standing too long, stiffening with the weather, crackling with every sit and rise. It all builds up silently, and then one day, that pain takes over every morning, every night's sleep, every waking moment. What hurts the most isn't the pain itself, but the helplessness. When you can't stand up on your own, when you need to grip the bed frame just to get out of bed, when even the smallest tasks require someone's help. The pain in the knees slowly becomes a pain in the heart, a sense of confinement, a nameless emptiness, as if you're still alive but imprisoned within your own body. But is this really fate? Does growing old mean we have to accept pain, helplessness, and dependency? The answer is no. Because in our modern world filled with machines and medicine, there are still gentler, more natural, and more sustainable paths to healing. And that truth is embodied in a man who lived for more than a century. Dr. Jige Hinohara, a Japanese physician who walked every morning at the age of 100, who never had to be hospitalized long-term, who lived in health and clarity without painkillers or surgery until he passed at 105. He once said, "I didn't live long to sit in a wheelchair. I lived so I could walk in the garden with my grandson every morning." That sentence became a wake-up call for millions of elderly people in Japan, and today, it might just be the wake-up call for you, or someone you love. Before we delve into his secret, 3 simple drinks that could change the life of someone suffering from joint pain, I want to invite you to listen to a small story. A story that's not just touching, but deeply real, close to home, in every household, every morning, every quiet sigh you may have witnessed before. It was a chilly morning in a northern Vietnamese village. Mr. Tu, just over 60, slowly stepped out onto the porch. His hand clung tightly to the faded wooden doorframe, his left leg dragging along bit by bit, while his right lifted and dropped like he was hauling a boulder. Each step weighed like tens of kilograms. His knees were swollen, burning, aching as though hundreds of needles were stabbing into every joint. The morning cold made him shiver, but not because of the weather. It was the relentless pain from the night before, still refusing to let him go. He forced himself to take a few more steps, then finally sank into the familiar plastic chair by the doorstep. His eyes looked out at the empty yard, once the place he used to water vegetables, prune branches every morning. Now, it was just a silent void. His gaze carried not only physical pain, but the weight of helplessness, that sinking feeling of being trapped inside his own body. In the small kitchen, his wife, Batu, was quietly brewing a pot of ginger tea. The warm, spicy scent of ginger spread through the house, but it wasn't enough to chase away the cold from his legs. Her eyes held a silent worry, not a fleeting concern, but one etched deep from countless sleepless nights, from every morning waking to find her husband sitting still, grimacing through the same unrelenting pain. That scene is no longer unfamiliar. It repeats every morning, a loop of exhaustion, where each new day begins with a soft groan and an endless battle against the pain in the knees. And Mr. Tu is not alone. Out there, millions of people like him are merely existing, not truly living, under the silent torment of knee osteoarthritis. They don't dare to travel far, they can't climb stairs, and every time they sit down or stand up, they have to brace themselves like preparing for war. What makes this condition so terrifying isn't just the physical pain. It's how it slowly steals away a person's freedom. It robs them of joy, dignity, and autonomy in their everyday lives. Many have had to give up their jobs because they could no longer stand for long periods. Some have abandoned lifelong passions because every step became an impossible task. And most heartbreaking of all are those who choose to suffer in silence. so their children won't worry, so their families won't be burdened. Even though deep down, they're terrified that one day, they may no longer be able to walk at all. Knee osteoarthritis isn't just a tale of old age, it's a warning from the body. A signal that we can't keep living, eating, and moving the way we always have, expecting everything to be fine. It's a wake-up call that health doesn't just come on its own, and if we don't care for it in time, even something as simple as bending down to tie our shoes could become a daunting challenge. But in the midst of that reality, there is still hope. Because somewhere in the world, there are people who have overcome this pain, not with painkillers, not with surgery, but with healthy choices and daily persistence. Among them was one remarkable man, a Japanese doctor who lived to 105, never suffered from knee pain, never needed a wheelchair, and remained strong on his feet until the very end. He didn't heal with expensive prescriptions, but with a simple lifestyle, an optimistic spirit, and natural methods that were surprisingly effective. That man was Dr. Jige Hinohara, a legend in Japanese medicine and a living inspiration to millions of elderly people across the globe. And now, we'll explore the story of this extraordinary man and the life philosophy that helped him not just live long, but live fully, each day with flexible legs, a healthy heart, and a youthful soul until his final breath. Dr. Jige Hinohara wasn't just a towering name in Japanese medicine. He was a living embodiment of a healthy, minimalist, and inspiring way of life. Born in 1911 and living until 2017, a full 105 years, he didn't just live long, but lived actively, mindfully, and radiated positivity to millions. Most people imagine old age with images of white hair, frail bodies, and needing help with every meal or nap. But Dr. Hinohara was different. At age 100, he still moved briskly, climbed stairs without using the handrail, visited hospitals to care for patients, taught university students, and even delivered speeches to thousands, with a voice full of power and conviction. When asked the secret to his longevity and health, he didn't talk about supplements or cutting-edge medical technology. He simply smiled and answered with a line full of weight. "I didn't live long to sit in a wheelchair. I lived to walk with my grandchild every morning." That wasn't a motivational slogan. It was a life goal, one he committed to every single day. Throughout his career, he was especially concerned with the elderly, people like Mr. 2 and Mrs. 2 in the story you just heard. He saw their pain, not just in their knees, but in their loss of strength, their loneliness, and their fading control over their own lives. And he believed that medicine should not only treat symptoms, but give people back their right to live healthily and freely. Unlike most modern doctors, he didn't chase after trends of expensive medications or invasive surgeries. He believed in the body's natural ability to heal. He believed that if we treat our bodies gently, with proper nutrition, regular movement, and mental relaxation, the body would, in turn, adjust and repair itself. He spent many years studying age-related illnesses, especially knee osteoarthritis, a quiet but persistent condition that forces millions of elderly people to live in pain. But instead of prescribing painkillers or recommending injections, he turned to humble, familiar methods, things you can do right in your own kitchen, at almost no cost, but with surprisingly sustainable and powerful results. From thousands of interactions with elderly patients and countless visits to nursing homes across Japan, he identified 3 drinks, simple as they may seem, that could completely transform joint health. These 3 drinks not only help reduce inflammation, regenerate cartilage, and lubricate joints, but also improve overall health, supporting better sleep, smoother digestion, and a clearer, more focused mind for older adults. In his lectures, he often said, "We don't need to look far. What the body needs most is always around us. If only we take the time to notice, to slow down, and to care for ourselves with love." And the most remarkable part? All 3 of these drinks are easy to make, easy to drink, and easy to maintain every day. One of them, he would drink in the morning as a daily ritual to start the day, soothing his joints, boosting immunity, and keeping his spirit calm and light all day long. Now, let's explore the first of Dr. Hinohara's 3 healing drinks, a gift from nature, simple on the surface but packed with powerful restorative potential. It is warm shiitake mushroom infusion, not an expensive drug, nor a complex treatment plan, Just a cup of warm shiitake mushroom water each morning became the quiet healing secret Dr. Hinohara relied on throughout his life. Though humble, this gift from nature has helped thousands overcome knee pain, regain their health, and reclaim the freedom in every step they take. In Japan, shiitake mushrooms, known locally as namhong, are more than just food. They've long been regarded as a treasured medicinal ingredient. Since the last century, shiitake has been used in traditional remedies to boost immunity, reduce inflammation, and support bone and joint health. But here's the interesting part. It's not the mushroom itself, but the soaking water that holds the most concentrated nutrients, which most people tend to overlook. The method is incredibly simple. Each night, just take a few dried shiitake mushrooms and soak them in a bowl of clean water. By morning, the mushrooms will have softened, and the water will turn a pale golden color with a distinct earthy aroma. Don't discard that water, because that's the real essence. Just warm it gently and drink it on an empty stomach. For extra warmth and digestive support, you can add a few thin slices of fresh ginger. Many people ask, why not just eat the mushrooms instead of focusing on the soaking water? The answer lies in the active compounds found in shiitake mushrooms, like polysaccharides, lintenin, and especially plant-based vitamin D. During soaking, a significant portion of these compounds leach into the water. This transforms the mushroom soaking water into a kind of natural tonic, helping to fight inflammation, regenerate cartilage, and slow down joint degeneration. Vitamin D in shiitake is especially important. It's a nutrient that's hard to get from regular foods, but is absolutely vital for calcium absorption and bone strength. Older adults lacking in vitamin D are more prone to osteoporosis, joint pain, and falls. Just 1 cup of mushroom water each morning can help nourish the skeletal system from the inside out, something painkillers can never do. The effectiveness of shiitake mushroom infusion isn't just theoretical. It's been proven through thousands of real-life stories. Like the story of Mr. Lu Van Truong, 68 years old, living in Fu Siu District, Hung Yen Province. Mr. Truong was diagnosed with stage 2 knee osteoarthritis. Every morning was a painful ordeal. He had to cling tightly to the side of the bed and call his wife to help him up just to stand. His knees were swollen, aching, and sometimes even a few steps left his legs trembling. One day, his son, after stumbling across an article about Dr. Hinohara's method on a health forum, suggested his mother try soaking shiitake mushrooms for his father to drink. At first, Mr. Truong didn't believe it. He'd tried plenty of Western medicine, even painkiller injections, but nothing worked. A cup of mushroom water, bland and flavorless. How could it possibly help? But, as the saying goes, desperate times call for desperate measures, so he agreed to give it a try. Every morning before breakfast, he drank a small cup of the warm mushroom soak, with a few slices of fresh ginger. During the first week, he didn't feel much of a difference. But by the second week, the nighttime pain began to ease. He started sleeping better. And by the third week, something miraculous happened. He no longer needed his wife's help in the mornings. He could get up on his own and walk out to the yard, slowly but steadily. The crunching sound in his knees began to fade. Most importantly, his spirit felt lighter, more hopeful. When asked how such a simple drink could bring about such a big change, Mr. Truong smiled and said, "I think it's not just about easing the pain. It made me feel cared for and gave me hope. The feeling of drinking something and believing I was getting better, it healed even the dry, withered faith in this old man's heart." And it's true. Sometimes, the miracle doesn't lie in expensive medicine or high-tech treatment, but in persistence, simplicity, and love. Shiitake mushroom infusion isn't just a drink. It's a gentle beginning to a new day. Each morning, before the sun rises high, when you lift that warm cup to your lips, you're also giving your knees a chance to heal. A small habit, but if maintained long enough, it can transform the journey of aging. This is the first of the 3 healing drinks Dr. Hinohara passed down. A gentle reminder that caring for your body doesn't need to be complicated, as long as you start early enough and stay patient. And if shiitake mushroom infusion is a gentle start to the morning, then at other times of the day, especially before meals, your body also needs an extra boost of energy from another warm, spicy drink. A tea infused with powerful anti-inflammatory properties that quietly untangles stiff joints and helps the body heal from within, in harmony with its natural rhythms. That drink is turmeric ginger tea with honey, the second in the trio of remedies Dr. Hinohara trusted and used throughout his life. Turmeric ginger tea with honey. It sounds like a familiar, humble beverage. But to Dr. Jige Hinohara, it wasn't just an ordinary cup of tea. It was an essential part of his proactive health routine. It was a natural medicine that warmed the body, soothed aching joints, and most importantly, jump-started circulation, awakening every cell and empowering the body to heal itself. At age 100, Dr. Hinohara still made a habit of drinking turmeric ginger tea in the morning or before main meals. And it was no coincidence that he chose these two ingredients. For centuries, ginger and turmeric have been regarded as golden remedies in traditional Eastern medicine, especially effective in treating arthritis, degeneration, and chronic pain. The preparation for this tea is incredibly simple. Just slice a few pieces of fresh ginger and a small amount of fresh turmeric. Place them in about 300 to 400 milliliters of water and bring it to a boil for 10 minutes to release the essence. Once boiled, strain out the solids. Let the water cool slightly, and then add a bit of raw honey. Avoid adding honey while the water is still too hot, as heat can diminish its medicinal properties. Each sip of this tea delivers a warm, spicy sensation that spreads from your throat to your stomach, then radiates throughout your body, like every blood vessel is being gently awakened after a long slumber. Ginger is warming, promotes blood circulation, dilates blood vessels, and is especially effective at reducing joint inflammation. Turmeric contains curcumin, a prized compound that helps regenerate damaged cartilage, slow down degeneration, and fight harmful free radicals. Honey, with its antibacterial properties, immune-boosting effects, and digestive support, acts as the perfect bridge that helps your body absorb all the benefits of the ginger and turmeric. Timing is also crucial when it comes to drinking this tea. According to Dr. Hinohara's experience, it's best consumed about 30 minutes before meals. That's when your stomach is still empty and your body is most receptive. When taken at the right time, turmeric ginger tea helps cleanse the blood, reduce inflammation, support digestion, and ease knee pain far more effectively than drinking it randomly throughout the day. Many people who've stayed committed to this tea have noticed real improvements. In a gathering of elders at a senior citizens club in Japan, one elderly woman in her 80s shared, "I used to rub medicated oils on my knees every morning because they just wouldn't bend smoothly. But since I started drinking turmeric ginger tea every morning, it feels like there's a new vitality in me. My steps are lighter, and I feel a sense of peace in my heart." That story reflects a broader truth, not only in Japan, but in many other places. In Vietnam, Mr. Nguyen Van Lam, 71, living in Gia Lam, Hanoi, once told his children that the moment he feared most was waking up. Every time he stood up from bed, his knees felt like they were breaking apart, and he had to hold onto the wall to move. After his son read about turmeric ginger tea on a Japanese medical website, the family decided to give it a try. Each morning, his wife prepared a warm cup of the tea, not just as a routine, but as a gentle way for him to start the day. After about a month of consistent use, Mr. Lamb no longer needed to lean on the wall in the mornings. His first steps of the day were no longer a struggle, but felt natural again. He could walk around the garden, do some light exercise, and more importantly, he felt his body warming up again. No more chills or stiffness when the weather changed. Turmeric ginger tea is not a miracle drug, but a healing ritual, not just for the body, but for the soul. Each morning, as you brew your cup, inhale the spicy warmth of ginger and sip the golden liquid slowly. That moment becomes a gentle reminder to yourself, "I am caring for this body with patience and tenderness." Dr. Hinohara once said, "The human body is a marvelous machine, but it doesn't run on force or speed. It needs to be nourished with understanding and love." And in that spirit, turmeric ginger tea is more than just a remedy. It's a message, a return to nature, a respect for your own biological rhythm, and a way of embracing old age without haste. If warm shiitake mushroom infusion is the gentle beginning to your morning, then turmeric ginger tea is the slow-burning flame that nurtures your inner strength. But the healing journey doesn't end there, because in the evening, when the body begins to rest, is the ideal time for deeper recovery. And that's when Dr. Hinohara recommended the third drink, soothing, cooling, yet filled with the power to lubricate joints and calm inflammation from within. A special combination of tiny seeds and a fragrant, peppery leaf, basil seed, and perilla leaf tea. Sometimes, it's the smallest things that create the greatest impact, like tiny basil seeds and the pungent, peppery scent of perilla leaves from everyday meals. But through the eyes of Dr. Hinohara, this humble duo offers powerful support for elderly individuals suffering from knee pain. Unlike the fiery warmth of ginger or the bold presence of turmeric, this quiet infusion of basil seeds and perilla leaves works silently, nurturing the joints and supporting deep recovery in the evening. The golden hour for cartilage regeneration and natural inflammation reduction. The preparation is incredibly simple. Start by soaking a teaspoon of basil seeds in clean water for about 10 minutes, until they swell and form a gel-like coating. This natural gel acts as a lubricant for the joints. While the seeds are soaking, take a handful of fresh perilla leaves, rinse them clean, then boil them in about 500 milliliters of water for 5 minutes to extract their essence. Once cooled slightly, mix the perilla infusion with the swollen basil seeds. To make it more pleasant to drink, you can add a spoonful of raw honey, mildly sweet and a great immune booster. This drink is best consumed in the evening, about an hour after dinner. That's when the body begins to wind down and recover. And it's also when your joints, after a full day of movement, most need internal hydration. The gel-like coating of basil seeds not only lubricates the joints, but also provides vital minerals like calcium, magnesium, and zinc, all essential for joint and bone health in the elderly. Meanwhile, perilla leaves are rich in antioxidants and powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that help soothe swollen joints, ease pain, and slow down the progression of osteoarthritis. But what makes this drink truly special isn't just its chemistry. It's the real changes it has brought to people's lives. One of the most compelling examples is the story of Mr. Tran Van Min, 73, from Quang Ngai. Mr. Min suffered from stage 3 knee osteoarthritis, a severe condition, so much so that doctors advised him to undergo knee replacement surgery if he didn't want to lose mobility altogether. But he refused, not because he didn't trust the doctors, but because he was afraid. Afraid of the pain, the complications, and most of all, of being bedridden. In his calm and honest voice, he once said, "All I wish is to be able to walk around the house, to ride my bike to the village gate and visit old friends. I don't need to climb mountains. Just being able to stand without help would make me happy." His son, after reading about Dr. Hinohara's method, began preparing the basil seed and perilla leaf drink every evening for him. At first, Mr. Min was skeptical. A cup of tea without medicine, what good could it do? But to please his son, he drank it. Once, then twice, then again, and gradually, something remarkable began to happen. After more than 2 months, Mr. Min was able to get out of bed on his own, walk around the garden, and the entire neighborhood was stunned when one early morning, he rode his bicycle to the village gate. It wasn't a young man's ride. It was slow, steady, and sure, powered by legs once declared hopeless. He recounted that moment with teary eyes. "I never imagined I'd walk on my own again without someone holding me, just from a cheap little drink, more precious than any tonic." Basil seed and perilla leaf tea isn't a miracle drug. It doesn't replace medical treatment for severe cases, but it's a gentle blessing from nature for those who are patient, who love themselves enough to return to life's simplest remedies. Every cup you drink in the evening doesn't just give your knees a chance to rest. It calms your mind, helps you sleep peacefully, and lets you wake the next morning feeling lighter, more mobile, more alive. Dr. Hinohara believed that miracles aren't found in operating rooms or medicine bottles. They live in the quiet consistency of small actions, done with love and understanding. To him, someone who drinks shiitake mushroom water every morning, turmeric ginger tea before meals, and basil seed, perilla leaf tea at night, is someone actively rewriting their own story of aging. And perhaps by now, you're also asking yourself, are these 3 drinks really as effective as the stories claim? The answer isn't written in textbooks, it lies in your own body. When you truly begin with a small habit, with a single cup, with a spark of belief. Because the journey to healing doesn't start at the hospital. It starts from within. And if what Dr. Hinohara shared, along with the real-life stories of humble people like Mr. Truong or Mr. Min, has lit even the smallest flame of hope in you, then let me invite you to walk with me a little further. A final stretch, not to close the story, but to open it. A parting message that is both a gentle reminder and a heartfelt call, so that you won't just keep this goodness to yourself, but pass it on to those you love most. This journey isn't just the story of a Japanese doctor who lived to 105. It's not only the story of Mr. Truong, or Mr. Min, or anyone else you've just heard about. It's your journey, or the journey of the loved one you're thinking of right now. Because knee pain, when you think about it, isn't just a medical symptom. It's the body's quiet way of saying, I'm tired. It's how the body speaks when it's been forgotten, when we're too busy, too preoccupied to remember one of the most important things, caring for ourselves. But just as every lock has a key, every pain has its path to relief. Not through costly treatments, not through heavy prescriptions or painful surgeries, but through a gentle return to something slower, more natural, more enduring. Through a warm cup of shiitake mushroom water in the morning. Through a fragrant turmeric ginger tea before your meal. Through a soothing basil seed and perilla infusion before bed. Simple things, but behind that simplicity is a powerful commitment to yourself, a promise that you deserve to live without pain, without dependence, without helplessness. If you're someone who has been living with relentless knee pain, or if your parents, grandparents, or someone close to you is facing each day with the fear of losing mobility, please don't wait until it's too late. Try. Begin with something small, and believe that something good will come to those who are patient and love themselves in the right way. And if something in this video has touched your heart, even just a little, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Share it with the father who sighs every morning just trying to stand. With the mother who quietly rubs her knees with ointment before sleep. With the friend or neighbor you know is in pain but never complains. Because sometimes, a single drink, a small act of sharing can become the greatest gift in someone's life. Be the one who plants hope. Start today. Start with one cup. Start with love for the knees that carry the entire journey of a lifetime.